Today on The Disruptors, we're going to flash back to one of our earlier programs when Dr. Troy Munson was visiting us at the Disruptors studio. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. You're going to disrupt the whole nation today, aren't you?
I am. I like to do that.
Yeah, I know.
The nation needs to be positively disrupted.
Disrupted.
Absolutely.
I had a lady the other day that asked me what disrupted means. And I said, have you met Candace? Then you would not have to ask what disrupted means.
That's right. We do leave that footprint.
Yes, you do. It's huge. It's great big.
Of course.
It's really big.
I am really, really excited because we have let's see, a surprise. Incredible announcement.
Yeah. Did you get the drummer?
It's a gift to humanity.
You got the drummer. He's going to be here too, playing the drum roll as we announce.
Sure. Were you going to do that? We can do that off the table?
I thought you were going to do that, but not on the table. That's okay.
Are you sure?
Positive. Go ahead.
This always drives you crazy if I beat the table.
I know. No drum roll, but go ahead. Let's talk about...
Well, first of all, we have, again, in the house...
Dr. Munson.
Yes.
He's back with us, Doc in the house.
Doctor.
I'm always so excited to be in the house with you two.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, it is great. And guess what's going to happen?
He's going to make an announcement.
Yes, he's going to make an announcement. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to make an announcement.
I am?
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited about this. With bated breath, have we been waiting for this day, and I am actually getting ready to launch my own podcast. My passion is information. Having studied and studied and studied for, 35 years now, nutrition and healing and the arts, and to be able to disseminate this information to the masses is part of our overall goal, our purpose for being, really.
Now, let's start at the beginning. How long have you been a chiropractor, for instance?
I started chiropractic school in 91.
91.
Graduated at the beginning of 95. So here we're in 18. So that's 23 years.
23 years.
And you still love the industry.
I absolutely love it.
Love the profession.
Yes.
Which really tells me that you really love people.
I do. Absolutely.
That's great. And now you're added and going on one step further.
Yes.
And that's into nutrition and actually being able to explain some of these things that we don't understand about vitamins and nutriments and all that other stuff.
Tell us a little bit about the show.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like?
Yeah.
So the show will take on many different forms, but I think dominant will be really the question and answers that thousands of people, email us. It seems like what is disturbing some people is ultimately, a question for many. And so instead of repeating to each individual the same information, it really is quite a fantastic idea to say, hey, let me put it on a podcast. Let's answer the question. Let's talk about the whys and the what-fors and the how-tos and how is the body doing this, what's going on inside, and understanding this so that now we have it for all to listen to. That becomes the driving force. And our purpose in our office is a grandiose one, but I think we need to hit and aim really, really high.
I agree.
And so our purpose is creating profound change in the health of the world.
I just love that. Could you say that again?
Creating profound change in the health of the world.
The way you were hacking a minute ago, this show may be very, very beneficial for you.
It is springtime.
Yeah, it is springtime. Yes. Allergies and...
We'll be doing a show on allergies very soon.
And I'll be dialing it in.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
Pneumonia.
I'll join the nation for good health.
That's right. On the Disruptors Network.
I have people comment to me, you talked about chiropractic, but still loving it and still doing nutrition. And when I began at age 10, started working in my parents' health food store, and I can remember marking vitamins. I can remember making orders. I can remember weighing up untold pounds of flour of different kinds of things, weighing out herbs that people would come in and buy, really amassing volume or knowledge. When somebody would come in and ask for something, I would be wondering, well, why do you need that? Here I'm 11 years old, having no knowledge, but working in the store that my parents and grandparents had started. And it was through that genesis that now began to gather that knowledge. And I marvel at where where God has taken me in all of this positioning, because here I can remember at age 9 being incredibly ill and really poor health. Mm-hmm. And having gone through the suffering and the pain of years of those kinds of ailments really led me to the deep burning question of why. I would why my teachers to death, because mm-hmm. I must know how this operates, because who wouldn't want to know how to be healthier and healthier and healthier and be better? If you could do it better, wouldn't you want to know how?
Absolutely.
So I remember having ear infections and not being able to hear. I can remember not being able to comprehend or understand or concentrate in school. And as I started getting adjusted for the first time at age 9, all of a sudden I noticed that everything changed. It was like there were earmuffs on my ears and they were gone.
And they were gone.
Yeah, it was like there was blinders or, really dark sunglasses on your eyes, and now you could see. It was like your brain was in a constant fog and cloud, and now I could hear. And it wasn't all, miraculous and wonderful. I still had to go through a lot of getting my body better and better. And having done that and been through so much, I now have this appreciation and compassion over those that are in that struggle as well.
Wow.
So what is the name of the show?
The show is Revealing Wholeness.
I love it.
Wholeness. Well, I knew you'd like it. Yeah. Wholeness.
Wholeness.
Yeah.
What does wholeness mean to you?
So it's really the state of completion or being complete. Mm-hmm. And if we talk about revealing wholeness, what does that even mean? And I realized that if in each one of us we were created really in the image of the Creator, perfect, holy, sinless, all those wonderful things that are us, the system that knows how to heal, knows how to regulate, knows how to do all these things and adapt to our environment and be healthy, then our goal is not to do something, but rather to reveal what we already are inside. So that's the revealing wholeness.
Wow.
I think that's a great perspective. Bill can kind of relate. Remember, you were blind.
Yes, I was. I was blind. I had cataracts that unfortunately had developed. I didn't go down and have them worked on. My wife at that time was passing away, and we didn't have the insurance. And I thought, well, vision was slowly disappearing. Things were starting to turn gray, and that's your friend there, our producer. Yep. He's going to have cataracts right after this is over with. But it was slowly, things were changing. And I got to the point where, unfortunately, that everything was gray. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it just kept getting darker and darker. Right. And I would watch television with a set of binoculars, and I would be maybe 10 feet away from the TV.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, it got that bad.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, and I kept telling myself, no, I know I can get through this. Everything's going to work out. And it got to the point where the kids were literally painting on the porch and down the steps and everything, white. Because I could see the contrast difference between real white with light on it in the dark. So I could actually walk down the steps without falling down the steps. I finally got the insurance thing straightened around. And what was interesting about it was, when they went in, they did the surgery, and you had both these funny looking balls stuck to your head. And the gal told my daughter, she says, now, Mr. Lee, you listen to what I'm telling your daughter. And I'm thinking, yeah, or whatever. When you get home, after 3 hours, she's going to open those up, and we're going to put some more drops in it. And you might be very amazed at what you're about to see. And I thought, I was pretty well focused into the point, because the doctor, Wong was his name, said that when he looked at the left eye, he said, I don't think we can save that. But I'm pretty sure we can save the right eye. Yeah. But we're going to do them both. We're going to do them both and see what happens. So as I'm sitting in the chair with anticipation, and as I told everybody, if I can just see my grandkids out of one eye, that's just fine with me. Yeah. And I thought to myself, okay, she's going to put in the drops. They're going to hurt, but what am I going to see? Because I hadn't really seen anything in a long time.
Sure. She
peels that open, and we had a window in the living room, and it was a beautiful day. It was sunshine, not like what we have now, but,
sure.
It was beautiful, and it was the bluest sky I've ever seen in my life. The colors were, the contrast of the colors, the greens and all that was amazing. I just sat there, and my daughter, I'm going to put the drops in now. I'd go away. I'm going to put the drops in now, Dad. And she'd put them in. And then we're going to cover him back up again. And I said, okay, fine. For a couple hours, do the drops again, then we can take those bandages off. And I thought, wow, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. The depth today, even though it's been years now, when it comes to color and stuff of that nature, some people, what is wrong with him? You know, we go out over to Port Orchard area and those areas where the Sinclair Inlet and the trees and the buildings, birds, it's incredible. It is really incredible. So, yes, there is such a change that you can feel. And just real quickly, when I went blind, my ears in turn kept picking up sounds. I can remember sitting out on the porch and hearing birds. Yes. And I was so delightful. I was so excited. Wow, there's a robin and there's the crow or whatever. But just to hear the world as it sounded was incredible. So,
well, let me ask both of you. Okay, because I've never had that. Okay, with you losing your hearing or having those issues, and then your sight. When you could hear, when you could see, was it emotional? I mean, do you feel like? Okay, I've got two questions because this is really cool as we're taking a detour. One, did you feel more connected to other senses? So were your other senses heightened? I'll ask that one first. And then the second one I wanted was it emotional when all of a sudden you could utilize hearing or utilize your sight again?
I'll let Doc answer that first.
Okay.
So for me, because I was 9 years old, it wasn't real emotional because you didn't know what you didn't know.
Sure.
I mean, I asked my 10-year-old, my 11-year-old sometimes, things, and it doesn't really mean much to him. Really, I remember that first adjustment by the chiropractor at about 9.5, and I remember powerfully whatever he just did made profound change. And as we walked out of his office, I told my mom, I pointed back to him and I said, whatever that guy just did to me, I'm going to do. And at that, it chokes me up now, but at that time I didn't know that powerful statement was going to put me on a journey of one of suffering. Now I have an issue a little bit with suffering because suffering is optional.
Right.
I chose the journey into discovery, but suffering's always optional, but oftentimes suffering is accompanied by it. And so the more suffering you have, the more you can put yourself in another's shoes.
Sure.
How can I walk in your shoes and be compassionate with you? And so I'm grateful now for that suffering that I went through because it's produced what I can do now with individuals, where I can say, you know what, I totally get where you're coming from, and they can feel it and know it. Because it's true.
You bet. And
so from that standpoint, I would like to say that there was something miraculous that happened when those things changed, but as a small child, I just knew this is way better.
Because your mind, you think, I'm going to readjust myself. Okay, I don't have that capability, but if I readjust, I have other capabilities I can do.
Sure. Did you feel more in tune? Because you were talking about when the birds were singing. I mean,
very much so. Very much so. Because you don't, how, if you think about it, goes outside to listen to a bird sing? Nobody. I mean, hey, it's bird summertime,
Sure.
But it got so to the point where the vision was failing so badly, I wanted to still touch and find out what was going on. And as I'm sitting out on the deck, my son and my daughter would look at me out the window. Look at the old man's finally, he's losing it. And I'd be sitting out there listening to the birds and the seagulls, and the sounds you can hear is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what enhanced, your giftings and your talents, and probably spurred you on. Obviously, it spurred you on to greatness, really. Yes. And you've got quite a following. So I'm excited that you're launching Revealing Wholeness, because I think that you're like a best kept secret.
Sure.
So I think it's wonderful. It should be like a coming out party,
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Where it's just like, yay!
My wife might be like, do you have something to tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been the best kept secret, and I've decided that I really need to get out here and let the world know, because people can benefit, and that's just it. That's the beauty of podcasting. It's the beauty that that in a sense, a positive way, that the world's become smaller.
Yes.
That we can actually there's so much information, and individuals that have a gift to sow knowledge